This is the full tutorial for EREN YEAGER's haircut and style. First, watch the video from the beginning to the end. After that, if you want to use this video to practice for yourself or with your team, I'm going to be leaving a stop sign so you can pause the video and practice the technique. Let's get that feel rolling. To start the haircut, we'll be doing a lower section. On this section, it's going to be kind of oval. I'll be using freeform razor cutting. This technique allows you to create a great haircut and they have a really nice finish at the end. This is perfect for this style. The best part to cut only with the razor on your hand is that you get a very precise and unique cut. It gives you the freedom that you want, gives you the detailing that you want. You can get these really piecey ends that you normally get on anime haircuts. I love cutting this way, it's fantastic. To achieve this look, I use some unique techniques like freeform razor cutting and condensed cutting, all based on my sculpting cutting techniques. So I carve from one side to the other and creating points, as you see. I carve the hair from side to side, creating these unique points, all custom tailored. Go from one side to the other, covering the whole area on the back. Using the razor only to carve the hair is a precise and unique way to achieve new looks and perfect for anime styles to get the pointy ends on the looks. On this segment, I'll be doing a little bit of shears of a comb. Now the cool thing about these techniques, I can elevate really high, so it's going to create a little bit more graduation on the ends, and then I freehand cut it with my thinning shears. I'm using the ones with the thicker teeth. If the razor is not a good tool for you to use to do your hair, you can always use your scissors and point cut it. And then I use the shears, going to slide down, short to long to create those points. Always check the end result, but until it's not dry, you won't 100% see it. For the second part of the haircut, I'm going to be using a horseshoe shape and cut the interior part of the haircut. To the second section for this haircut, I'll be using a traditional horseshoe shape. To cut the back of this style, I'm going to be using the two-comb technique. This is going to allow me to create this distressed bob. When you use this technique, you get all the hair compressed on the center, so the center is short and the sides are getting longer. So you get this like short to long effect. Now the great thing is that the comb is a lot longer than your fingers, so you get a straight line on the back. And using the thinning shears, so I can get more distressed look and more blended look. This is an amazing technique to create these kind of cool haircuts. And not only that, but it gives your clients a really cool and unique experience. Take your time to practice this. You're going to really love it when you feel comfortable doing it. You can tell how it's getting the stack back there. Goes short to long. Now I'm going to detail the front part of it using the freeform technique with my blade. And using the same technique right now, just carving the hair in 2 points and then cutting a little bit on the top of the hair so I can get a little more graduated. So it gets blended from short to long. You see I'm using the blade coming from the back to the front. Go to the opposite side of the hair and cut a matching length. See how I'm checking it this way? Just make sure it's the same length. And after that, just continue doing the same line as you did on the other side. If your hair is curly or wavy, the haircut will work well, but it won't look the same. If you must have this hairstyle, you can consider getting a relaxer from a professional. Find an expert on these particular services. Don't do it yourself. Warning, you can fry your hair and lose all your hair. To make the ends more light, I'm going to be using this technique with the thinning shears, cutting from the inside to the outside and then cutting it from the top to the bottom. All depends on how thick the hair of the client is. The thicker it is, the more you have to do this. The finer it is, the less you have to do this. Now you can see the whole line on this bob. To do the last segment of this haircut, I'll drop the top of the horseshoe shape and I'll be cutting the same graduation on the back using the two-comb technique. To get some layers on the top of this haircut and to achieve the bends, I'm going to be using the two-comb techniques, using a small section on the top and bring the hair up and forward and cutting it from the top down with my shears. How much you cut is always depends on the length you want to leave those bangs on. I want it to be mostly up to close to the mouth area. To add some extra layering on the sides, I'm be cutting a diagonal forward from the back to the front using the freeform technique with the razor. I'll do a couple times until I get what I want. And I'll just do the same thing on the other side. To connect the top to the back, I'm going to be using my razor too and just on the crown area cut from short to long to connect the front part to the back area. To do the style on this haircut, I'll be using some wax from 1821. This is an oil-based product. It's fantastic for blow drying the hair and for finishing. If your hair has no curls, you can actually use a flat brush and wrap around the head with a big brush. If you're liking this video, give it a thumbs up. This really helps the video to perform well on search so other people can see it. Thank you for doing that. You see how I use the blow dry following the brush. If you want really straight looking hair, use a flat iron. If you don't know how to use a flat iron, talk to a professional to figure out how to do it. Don't burn your hair. To use the flat iron, your hair will benefit by having some heat protecting product and a professional iron. After the hair is done, you can see the pattern you cut it, and then you can tailor the style. I use the freeform with my blade to actually cut those details on the nape area into more pointy. And I'll use the same technique from the front area, where I can actually cut the same pieces, the pieces that I want, grab it, pick them up, cut it exactly the length that I want it and the ones that I want, so I can jump from hair short to hair long. That's going to create this piecing look that you need for anime haircuts. You won't see these pieces much when the hair is down, so don't worry too much about it. Just don't make the pieces too thick or chunky. And here you have the Eren's haircut done. Now I'm going to put it up. Let's see it. Then I'm going to blow dry the hair back on the sides so I can get the ponytail into the back. This haircut is a little short on the sides, so the wax is allowing me to keep the hair together going back. To do the ponytail, just use a flat brush and comb the hair into the back of the nape, and then just make sure you use some flexible hairspray like 1821 that allows you to brush over and over through the pieces and not get too hard. To hold the ponytail, I'll be using this bungee. These are great tools to actually be able to make it very tight on the back. To get this style, you're going to need a flexible hairspray, one that you can put on the hair and brush it out. so it doesn't get too hard on the first pass. You can always use your blow dry after you use the hairspray. This will actually make sure that the hair dries really quick and it holds into place faster and easier. Make sure you handpick the pieces on the front so you can actually get the style that you want on the front. To see those pointy pieces you see in the ear by EREN, I'll be actually picking a hair piece from the side, pull it over the ear and having it exposed in front of the ear. Now that the back is done and the front is done, I'm going to move the ponytail to the crown area. Now based on the ponytail I did first, it was very low, it was kind of on the nape area, and to be able to get enough hair into this ponytail so I can get some kind of man band or messy ponytail, I'm going to have to take it way higher to the crown area. Having it lower to the nape, it didn't allow to have enough hair on the ponytail. By raising it up higher, I'm going to get a lot more hair on the ponytail so I can get this messy ponytail. To get the distressed look on the ponytail, I'll be using my comb and comb it backwards so I can get a back combing on the hair. This is going to make that really cool messy look. To control the hair and leave it closer to the hair so it doesn't look like a ponytail, it looks more like a spread chignon, I will be using invisible bobby pins. You can get this style with 4 of them. One on each side, one on the bottom and one on the top. Then I take my time to actually cut with the thinning shears the pieces on the front so they don't look chunky, it looks more wispy at the ends, and I get exactly the length that I want it. If your hair is very thick, you might need to use a traditional bobby pin, and maybe more than 4 to hold the whole thing up. Make sure it looks messy like you want it. Take your time to style it. To get the hair on the back to flip, use the flat iron or a round brush. This is not really needed, only if you wanted to have that look. Hope you love this haircut and the techniques that I used to achieve it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, consider to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. This is Angel del Solar making the hair straight.